everyone. Welcome to AA Sports Podcast. We are your host, Alan. And Alan, welcome to episode 38.
Woo! 38.
Post and the DS, the Division Series, and kind of talk a little bit about the Championship Series since they already started. But first, news is never good lately come baseball legends.
Yeah, man, you called it. You said we were losing legends, and they come in threes, and yeah, it sure enough is happening. The first Hall of Famer that we lost that we want to talk about is Yankee all-time wins leader Whitey Ford.
Yeah, Hall of Famer, Yankee legend. Won more World Series games than any pitcher has ever had so far in history. Died at the age of 91. Suffered from effects of Alzheimer's disease in recent years. So he died Thursday night, apparently after watching the Rays and Yankees game, apparently right after the Yankees beat the Rays to force Game 5.
Okay.
It's, Boom said he feel like some comfort in that at least he got to see Yankees win one more game before passing. But, he was born about October 21st, 1928, grew up in Queens, major league debut in the Yankees in 1950, spent his entire career with the Bronx Bombers. He helped the Yankees win 6 World Series titles in 11 years, and 11 pennants in his 16 seasons.
Man.
Career record of 236 wins, setting a Yankee record. His winning percentage is a 690, best 80 pitcher with at least 300 decisions. He won the Cy Young in 61 when he was 25-4 and was also a 10-time All-Star.
Yeah, man. He's also 3 times AL win leader, 2 times MLB ERA leader, and he has his number retired with the Yankees, number 16.
Yeah.
And I believe he was also inducted into the Hall of Fame in 74. It was his second ballot, and he got 77.81% of the votes that year.
Yeah, he highly enjoyed it because he went in with his teammate Mickey Mantle was the one who inducted him. But the thing of him being a best pitcher for the Yankees, he was chosen Game 1 starter of the World Series 8 times.
Wow.
10 World Series victories is most by any pitcher, and he pitched 33 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings in the World Series play, breaking a record set by Babe Ruth, which also still holds the world record for World Series starts, 22 innings pitched, 146, and strikeouts at 94 in all the World Series.
Yeah, man.
Those times the Yankees, wasn't a playoffs, is where the best 2 teams went to the World Series, but when you were the best team, you got to the World Series, and he dominated.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
Much to say about that.
Yeah, definitely a big loss, especially for Yankees fans.
Yeah.
Like I said, we never saw him play. Dude's 91 years old, so I'm sure he lived a full life. But yeah, man, with numbers like that, you're definitely going to go down as a legend.
Yeah.
Especially in the pinstripes.
Definitely so. And then the next, what was it? Not even, 4 days later, we lost another legend. Hall of Famer, Reds legend, Joe Morgan, died at the age of 77 Sunday due to a nerve condition, apparently according to his family spokesman, to Associated Press.
Yeah, and like you said, is another legend has passed away. He also was a 10-time All-Star, 2-time World Series champion, 2-time NL MVP, won the Gold Glove 5 times, Silver Slug Award winner, and his number's also retired in Cincinnati. His number was 8. But he was elected into the Hall of Fame in 1990 with 81.8% of the votes on his first ballot. But yeah, man, like I said, living legends, gone way too soon. 77, I guess, he's still pretty old, but
it's still probably
a little early, man.
22 seasons in the major league, including the Astros, Giants, Phillies, and Oakland, besides the Reds. But of course, he was on that 75-76 Reds team with, Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, the Red Machine.
That's right.
So, but he finished career with 2,517 hits, 689 stolen bases, 1,650 runs. But his defensive at second baseman had 5 Gold Gloves, one of the best all-around players in MLB history, and according to Baseball Reference, his 100.5 wins above replacements ranks 21st all-time among position players. And of course, in 1990, he was selected to the Hall of Fame. his retirement was for, he got a second career, which some of us do remember between World Series games, Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN, All-Star games, and much, much more.
Yeah, man.
He did something, and then towards the end of his broadcasting career, he became a advisor for the Reds until I think the last couple of years he kind of stopped doing that. But still, like that, he was one of the original people who did Sunday Night Baseball. But on ABC, he did like the Monday, Wednesday Night Baseball in the '80s. So he had a great career post baseball too.
Yeah, I mean, what better person to do it than somebody with that kind of stat line, you know?
Yeah, very much so. Rest in peace to both of them. It's kind of sad. Like 2020 sucks. You know, these four legends plus others that we lost earlier in the year. It's like so quick behind each other. It's getting a little ridiculous to start the podcast like this every week.
Yeah, man. And the year's not over. Yeah, we're only in October.
I know.
But yeah, let's get to some other news. It's not lighter news. It's still terrible. The White Sox decided they're going to part ways with their manager, Rick Renteria.
Yeah. Very surprising for me when this news came out. I'm like,
bro, this is shocking. I couldn't believe it because I told you I felt like he should be the manager of the year.
Yeah, which he would probably get considered if it wasn't for Tampa Bay's and Kevin Cash down there. He's probably going to finish as a finalist. It will not surprise me if he finishes a finalist.
Which is crazy. If this guy is a finalist as a manager of the year and you guys let him go, I don't know what that says about your organization. That's crazy. I mean, I get it. He's been with the White Sox. He's been their manager since 2017. I mean, his record with them is 236 and 309. So I get it. It's not the best record, but, you know, he's got young talent, and he brought the best out of him this year for sure. The only thing I could think, Alan, is that they think maybe they have a really great team and they want to take full advantage by possibly getting one of the suspended managers or somebody on the team. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. So he spent his 1 year as the Cubs, which is kind of it's going to be bad. So Remember, he was the Cubs. They had promise. You know, he went 73 to 89 that year. They fired him, brought in Joe Madden. A few years later, he won the World Series. So he kind of set that team up.
Right.
Then the White Sox, he's 4 years. You know, Aaron Giesman on Twitter said, you know, White Sox just fired Rick. He won 72 games last season and played at a 94-win pace this season, but blew the division lead to the Twins down the stretch among some questionable pitching moves the last week. A lot of people believe that's the reason why he got fired, because of poor bullpen management down the stretch. In Game 3, it was apparently a fumble for him pitching-wise. So the time is now with this young, hot team. And now we heard rumblings we talked about last week that, those two managers that were suspended last year were the Detroit. This job has got to be high up there on that list if I was one of them.
All right, I agree.
And
with the talent, man, it has to be. You're
talking about, you know, great pitching is there, you know. The question is with pitching is with Kolchak, if he's going to opt back in. You know, the mental health questions was there, why he opt out and stuff. Other than that, there are a bunch of young studs in the outfield and infield. Pitching rotations there. It's ultimately like a redemption job. Now, who's going to be better, AJ or Alex?
I think it's going to be kind of hard for somebody to come in and mess this up.
Yeah.
I mean, the team is set up for you to come in and win. I just don't know.
Jim Thoney is possible. Another one names get thrown in there already. The old White Sox catcher.
Tony?
Yeah.
Okay.
God.
What about the guy from the Phillies who got fired?
Who?
They fired him after they brought Bryce Harper in. Has he got a job somewhere?
Yeah, he's with the Giants.
Oh.
He's a Giants man.
Yeah, he's locked up then.
Yeah. So,
look, man.
Wise, if you think, it's got to be AJ or Alex.
It makes sense.
I don't think you're going to give a rookie manager that team right
now.
Especially
since they're on borrowed time. They're young guys. Eventually, they're going to want bigger contracts. You got to get somebody in there to win now.
Yeah. Dallas Keuchel under, I think, 2-more-year deal because it was a 3-year deal when he signed. So you got 2 more years in Keuchel. And, you know, he was a great pitcher for them this year. So you think about that with, you know, Lopez and Lucas Giolito, like pitching's there, maybe a piece you're missing. The lineup stacked, possible MVP.
Yeah.
That lineup rookie of the year finalists. I really, man, I don't know who I'd go with here, AJ or Alex. If I was White Sox.
It doesn't matter to me, whichever one says yes, because like I said, at this point, either one of those guys can be good
Yeah, it's
there.
going to come down to interview, I think.
Right. It's kind of hard to mess this team up is what I'm getting at. Like it's like a win-win. Like you come in, you do what you got to do, and you guys should be set up for playoffs. I would assume. I mean, maybe not, but I have a feeling that they think that they're in a playoff mode next year automatically. So
Yeah,
that's why they're doing these big
either
moves.
one of those guys will help the White Sox get to that next level. They got the taste of, and Tim Anderson said it's just the start of something. I think it was good for us to get it in. After being eliminated, guys got the taste of it, and I think we're going to make more hungry the next time we get here next year.
Yeah.
So next year should be a longer season, so it'll be more of a grind, back to regular baseball, which Tim Anderson almost won the batting title, so he wants to probably get that back. So it'll be interesting. I can't wait to see if they do go with one of them, which one they go with, because we thought it'd be a couple years for one of these guys to get a shot again, but it seems like it's going to be maybe next year.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to see
the White Sox job, so get the Detroit job, I think.
Yeah, I can't wait to see another a full year with these teams next season. Can't wait to see what they do.
Yeah. And so also came out yesterday, the 2021 draft order was released, and with the first pick, Pittsburgh Pirates.
No surprise there. Yeah, the Pirates.
So I was like, why was this such a big deal? Well, apparently during the March agreement, Rob Manfred had the control to redo the whole draft order how he wanted this year.
What do you mean?
Like, they didn't have to go by a record. He could have chosen the record. Like, he could choose, like, okay, I feel like this team could have been moved whatsoever around. He could have designed the draft order for next year.
Oh, if he would have done that, everybody would have flipped their shit.
So I was like, why is this? Yeah, I was like, oh. But, it's going to be determined the old-fashioned way. So the complete order of 2019, because remember, Astros still lost this year's first-round pick as well next year. So there's only 29 first-round picks.
Good.
So Astros do not get it. And, of course, you have Pittsburgh Pirates, Texas Rangers, number 2, Detroit. Fumbled there at the end and got a top 3 pick. Boston, number 4 pick. Baltimore ended up with number 5 pick. Diamondbacks is at 6. Royals at 7. Rockies at 8. Angels got the 9th pick. Mets got the 10th pick. Nationals got the 11th. Mariners got the 12th. Phillies got the 13th. Giants 14th. Brewers 15th. Miami 16th. At 17, you got the Reds. 18, the Cardinals. Blue Jays got the 19th. Yankees got the 20th. Chicago Cubs got the 21st pick. White Sox got the 22nd pick. Indians 23rd. Atlanta the 25th pick. 24th. 25th is Oakland. 26th is Twins. 27th is Padres. 28th is Tampa Bay. And then the last pick of the first round is, of course, the Dodgers.
Yeah, man. There's a couple of these that stick out to me, and the first one is the Orioles at number 5. Because hopefully they'll have Trey Mancini healthy. They already found that they can rely on some of the younger guys to step up. So depending on who they pick, man, I feel like they could have a solid outing next year. Got to be a lot better than this year. I mean, they made a little run, but I feel like they can really get it together. I'm not sure what they need. I feel like in the 5-hole, if they want to get it done earlier than sooner, like start getting wins, they might want to look at some pitching.
I think since they went, outfield last year, I think pitching definitely be on their storefront this year.
But the next ones that I really like, or I'm interested in, is 9, 10, 11. Angels, Mets, and Nats. I'm not sure what they all need. I know the Mets always need something pitching. Seems like the Angels need
pitching.
A miracle. The Nats need something. I mean, the Nats had a missing piece. I don't know. I don't think it was just Rendon this year, but something's missing because they have a great team still.
Yeah, with Strasburg being out the whole year pretty much for them, pretty much doomed them, I feel like.
You think so?
And then Max Scherzer being the last year of his deal, so you're going to need someone to replace that guy, which, Strasburg ultimately will be the ace after Max leaves, if he leaves.
But they need more.
Yeah, you're going to need more after that. So do they get someone young? They got some guys down there. So, Pittsburgh Pirates, this is the 5th time they got the number 1 pick. Of course, last time they had the number 1 pick, they picked this guy called Garrett Cole. I don't know if y'all know him. And, so wouldn't be surprised if Pittsburgh goes after a pitcher, which a lot of people believe right now is Vanderbilt's right-hander, Kamar Rocket, to go number 1. in his brief little 15 innings last year because of COVID, he had a 1.8 ERA, 28 strikeouts. So hopefully, this season coming up, much more of a thing to show what he got. And then if you think about it, he has a whole less year on his arm now.
Yeah, man. I mean, Vanderbilt definitely makes players. Like I think of Dansby Swanson getting drafted first overall from Vanderbilt, I believe.
Yeah,
they definitely produce guys, man. So yeah, if Pirates do go with that route, maybe they'll have a stud to somebody to look forward to. But they got to be good on this one. They got to be sure about this pick because they absolutely suck. They've been sucking since McCutcheon went down, basically.
New GM, new president. So this will be their second pick, and I guess we'll really have to wait to see what this draft's going to be with the the minor league deal is. Are they shrinking the minor league baseball? So how many rounds is the draft going to be next year? Are we going to stick with this 5-round draft, or are we going a little bit more next year? That is the big question. I guess we'll find out more details later because, to my knowledge, the minor league deal is not done. So as of right now, we don't have no minor league baseball technically under contract. So
that's not good.
So MLB might just start calling owners or teams that set up their own league and don't have to go through the minor league baseball offices, and MLB just flex their muscle and buys it themselves.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know, man. I'm assuming that the MLB is going to take care of this, but like you said, there's nothing done yet.
Some way,
yeah,
it'd be interesting to watch and stuff. So,
I can't wait to see how many independent teams pop up after all this. These teams get
whoever loses their minor league team is going to become independent ball, and it's going to be a big old
resurgence.
Yeah,
gotta be. We're going to put all these players. Either that or the KBO or some other places can get stacked. I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to watch and see what happens. This definitely off season compared to that because, here in Norfolk, AAA, which I don't think they'll leave. It's other teams that, they'll be talking about. But
yeah, there's no way that that team will leave. If they do, somebody would have to sign up with it. It's just too big of a stadium and too many people around here to not have a team there.
And to my knowledge, I think the guy who owns the Orioles owns the other minor league team, so I think it's a package deal. So I think he's good.
Okay.
So, but I think it's time to get into some playoff baseball recaps. Man, division round.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about the division series. First one we should talk about is the Astros and the A's. Astros, I'm surprised they finished it in 4 games. I don't know, man. It was crazy because the first game they set the tone. Astros went off. They scored 10 runs, man. They won 10-5.
10-5. 2 got home runs for Bregman, 2 from Carrera, like big hits from Altuve, and
and after that, wasn't that when Correa was talking all that smack, just like, what are the haters gonna say now, kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then game 2, Astros won again 5-2. With bats of Singer and Cork staying hot. Singer hit 2 home runs in the 3rd and 5th. Cork drove in another run, and then their pitcher Valdez shut down the A's in 7 innings.
Yeah, man. So like I said, right. Like you said, back-to-back games. The game 3, the A's absolutely had to win this game, and they did. But it was a tough one. They won it 9-7.
A's took the lead in the first, 1-0. In the bottom of the first, Astros scored 2. A's tied it up the next inning. Then the 4th inning, A's looked to take the lead, extended it in the 5th, but then Astros came back in the bottom of the 5th with 5 runs. But then Astros bullpens was not shut out like the previous 2 games. In the 7th, they gave up 3 runs. To tie the game back up. In the 8th, they took a 2-run lead. The A's did to the final score. So this is the game where the whole Oakland A's infield hit a home run.
Yeah, just all solo shots, right?
Yeah, all solo shots to get the job done.
And it sucks because they got all that out of their system in that game alone because the next game, the Astros were just too much to handle.
Yeah.
They put up 11. It's like that kind of just beats you down. Like the A's gave it all they had in game 3, and they just were no match at all for the Astros. Kind of made me thinking the Astros were going to make a real run.
Yeah, Greinke on the mound, you figure like this could probably be the game. Like Astros probably got this. Well, Greinke got a little cocky in the 2nd inning. Told Lariano what pitch was about to come.
Telling them pitches you can't.
And Lariano took a 3-run home run deep to take a 3-0 lead early. I'm like, wow, this could bite them back in the ass. Well, no, not too much later because the bats woke up, scored 5 in the 4th, 2 more in the 5th, 6th, and 7th. It's kind of like,
Yeah, but at the same time, you can't do that. You can't be that cocky. You got to just play your game, especially in the playoffs.
I understand he did it the regular season and it worked out for him, but yeah, like you said, it's playoff baseball.
Look, if I was a GM or his coach or his manager or whatever, I would be pissed if he did that in the regular season as well. If you do it in preseason or something, that's fine. But in a real game, you can't be giving away your pitches to professionals.
Yeah, so they clinched the series and they wait on to see who's going to be the representative, who they're going to face with the A's and Yankees. But still, the Astros they're getting enough pitching from them in that series, but the bats finally came alive. They were having a terrible year, but these are the defending American League pennant winners, so they do have the bats. No one really left the team batting wise. Yes, they lost Cole, Verlander out for a year of injury, so the team itself is there, but they haven't put it together. But so far in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, they have.
Yeah, like you said, man, they got hot at the right time, and in the playoffs runs, that's all you need. You just need to get hot.
And they got lucky because if they didn't expand the playoffs, they would have not got in.
Exactly, they shouldn't even been there.
This next series we talked about last week, the Rays-Yankees. This was the series. We wish it could have went 7 because we feel like it was going to go 5. It goes 5, but man, there was some stuff behind this.
Yeah, man. This was a series that you and I both were pretty hyped on, and I figured it would go to Game 5, and it did not disappoint. And I have a feeling that this series alone might be the best series we see in the playoffs.
So far, when we discuss the other ones, this is clearly the best series yet.
I'm thinking this could be the best series moving forward too. We'll see how it ends up.
Well, after tonight's 2 games, this really could tell what kind of series we're going to have. But Game 1, Yankees end up winning 9-3. But both started, giving up a run in the first. Yankees taking the lead in the third from Frazier's solo home run in the third. Then the bottom of the fourth, Cho hit a 2-run home run off of Cole. The next half inning, Yankees take back the lead. 2 more solo home runs off of Blake Snell from Judge, and then their catcher Higuera. The Yankees bullpen shut the Rays down from there, adding 5 runs in the ninth from mostly Stanton's grand slam in the ninth. Sealed that game for them.
Yeah, man. After watching that first game, I was scared for the Rays. I was like, man, Yankees
pitching was But then Game 2, I was like, this is where the test comes for the Yankees because a pitcher not named Cole has been suspect majority of the year. Well, the Rays end up holding off the Yankees to take Game 2, 7-5. Glasnow started for the Rays. Yankees did something different. The rookie started, but ended up only being the opener, which was a little surprising.
Yeah.
He ended up going to give 1 run, which was a solo home run, but it was replaced by Hart. But then 2 2/3 innings, Hart gave up 5 hits, 4 earned runs, all runs being 2 2-run home runs. And that's been the Achilles heel of the Yankees this year is that a pitcher named not Cole has been iffy, and that was a true test.
But even so, the Rays won that 7-5, so it's still a tight game.
Yeah. Yankees ended up scoring 4 runs off of Glasnow, all coming from the bat of Stanton. A solo home run in the second, a 3-run home run in the fourth. That hot bat, Stanton came in the right time. He started hot beginning of the season, then got injured, and he got hot. The Rays had a run both in the fifth and the sixth to stay in the lead, and gave him a run the ninth before closing out the game to tie up the series 1-1. So, man, like we thought, it's like back and forth.
Exactly. And then the next game, you got the Rays. They won 8-4. So we're right back on track after that. So we're like, oh, okay, well, maybe the Yankees, they won Game 1. They looked okay Game 2, but the Rays are still getting it done like we thought they would.
Yeah. Because, like we said, the pitcher, and then Tanaka was on the mound. He went 4 innings, 8 hits, 5 earned runs. At first,
he was getting lit up.
3, give up 1 run for the first 3 innings. But then the fourth and fifth gave up 4 runs, couldn't get out the fifth, was replaced. His opponent, veteran Morton, went 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs allowed. But only 1 was earned for that because of an error. Then the bullpen for the Rays went to work, only allowed 2 more runs, but only 1 was earned because since they had 2 errors in that game total, Yankees stay hot bat of Stanton with 2-run home run in the 8th, but they closed out after that to take a 2-1 series lead in the best of 5. So we kind of already said about Game 4, Yankees took that must-win game. As I said, Whitey Ford got to see him win one last game before he passed away. Pitching was shut down, only gave up 3 hits and 1 run the whole staff.
The Yankees must have felt good about that one.
Yeah, from Bolt, and then a 2-run homer from Torres. Chapman came in, pitched 1 1/3 innings to close the game out to make sure they had a Game 5, and they did.
Oh, speaking of Chapman.
Big drama come Game 5. What a game.
Yeah, dude, that was a great game. Game 5, man.
We all knew it was like Cole was getting the ball, short rest. We knew that.
Absolutely.
Then it was like, who's pitching for the Rays? And it was like Glass now. I'm like, oh, on
Yeah.
2 days rest?
He's hot. Yeah,
They felt great.
Even on 2 days rest, man. That's crazy.
But he was only going to be allowed to pitch through the batting rotation once, which
Okay.
was great. He did 2 1/3 inning, allowing no hits and 2 walks. So he probably would have got through 3 innings if it wasn't for those 2 walks. Yankees struck first with a solo home run off a Judge in the 4th. The bottom of the 5th, Cole's one weakness all year. That home run, he used a solo home run up to Austin Meadows. Britton relieved Cole in the 6th. In the 7th, with 2 outs, Chapman came in to close out the 7th, and then the 8th. Like a storybook ending, a storybook tale. You remember September 1st, Rays versus Yankees, 9th inning, a 101 fastball that was thrown from Chapman, almost hit Mike Bose in the head.
Yes.
Well, the game ended and things were said. Chapman was suspended 3 games, got appealed. It's all on hold to next year. Well, Mike hits a solo go-ahead home run off of Chapman in the bottom of the 8th. Then Castro comes in, closes the game for the Rays. Rays win Game 5 series to face the Astros in the ALCS.
Yeah, man. What a time to take revenge and hit a bomb when it absolutely counts.
When I realized it was him, I was done.
Yeah, man.
And off of Chapman of all people.
Exactly.
Like, oh. And watching videos of like, John Boy and Barstool watching that home run and they all defeated. It was so great. Because God, Yankees fans sometimes are too cocky.
Oh yeah. No, it was the best. It was a really good game, great game, perfect atmosphere, and he picked the absolute best time to come up clutch with the home run.
And this is what I thought the Rays were all year. There's a scrappy team that gets it done. They're not like Mike is not a home run guy. Like he just gets it right then and there. And now Chapman 2 years in a row gives up a walk-off home run to send the Yankees home.
Yeah, man. I feel like this was the time. I know Judge was heating up, but Stanton needed to stay hot this series.
Stanton was looking around that, looking around that dugout like anyone else would have helped me.
Yeah, I know. He's like, anyways. Well, hey, like you said, Tampa Bay won. This is definitely one the Yankees are going to be hurting. The fans are going to be hurting. They're not going to forget this one anytime soon.
No, definitely not. So now the question with the Yankees, like this all season, now the question is with Chapman both years in a row, do Yankees trade Chapman now? It's like, it's going to be one of those questions now. Like, it's time for Yankees to realize, to rebrand, they definitely need pitching, so don't be surprised they go after some pitchers this year.
Look, if you're not producing, you're not staying in the pinstripes.
No.
So they got the money. They don't care.
They just signed them to extension, I think, last year.
Did they?
I think so.
Well, we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens.
It does.
Yankees, nothing's guaranteed in Yankees uniform. I'm shocked that Brett Gardner is still on the team.
Yeah.
Because you don't stay in a Yankees uniform that long, usually. Unless you're the captain or, whatever. But, I mean, that's a long time. He's been with them since their last championship.
I think he was on a 1-year deal or 2-year deal. So I think he only has this year and next year left. So we'll see.
But still, his tenure is pretty long for a Yankee.
Yeah. So next week, we're going to talk some National League Division Series.
That's right.
First one was that NL East battle.
Yeah, man. Braves and Marlins. So we came into this thinking the Marlins are undefeated in their playoff tenure. And are they going to lose? Well, so much for them being undefeated. The Braves won 3 straight.
Yeah.
Kept them scoreless the first 2 games. That's got to take all
the last 2 games. The first one they scored.
Oh, the last 2 games, yeah.
But
dude,
Braves take the first game 9-5 to open the series. Kuna's first at bat in the series takes a home run to start. Miami, of course, responds in the next inning. They scored then 3 runs to score at the top of the inning. The bottom of the 3rd, Braves responded, scoring 2 off 2 doubles. The 7th, the Braves scored 6 more runs by a single off of Ozuna, a 3-run home run off the d'Arnaud, and a solo home run off of Swanson. In the 8th, Miami scored a run, but Braves bullpen closed it out after that to take game 1.
Yeah, like you said, game 1, the Marlins, it wasn't any concern because, okay, they lost, but they were still competitive. But this is also the time, like you said, d'Arnaud was getting hot.
Yeah, d'Arnaud was the guy. It's like a storybook for us Mets fans, We let someone go, and they suddenly become this guy that we all thought he could be.
Yeah.
But and then game 2 was the pitching duel, Braves ended up winning 2-0. Atlanta pitching staff only allowed a total of 3 hits, 2 walks, and no runs the entire game. They were
Tough to
lights
win when you
out
can't hit.
from starter Anderson to closer. Marlins were great too. They only had 4 hits, but 2 of those 4 hits were solo home runs off d'Arnaud and Swanson, which were the difference makers for this game.
Exactly. A couple of small spots, man, where they just took it deep. It's just like you made a small mistake, but you lost because of it. It was a tight game. It's definitely a playoff atmosphere, man.
And then game 3, just the pitching's just too much for Miami. They ended up winning 7-0, taking the series 3-0. The Braves pitching staff for the second game in a row did not allow a run, only allowed 5 hits to Miami. Wright went 6 innings for Atlanta, allowing just 3 hits, 7 Ks. Bullpen did their job. Braves bat came alive in the third. Most of all was a 6th and 7th RBI double from Travis d'Arnaud for the series. And total 4 runs in the inning, adding a run in the 4th from the bat of Freeman, 2 more in the 5th from Swanson and Duvall, and that's all they needed to wrap this series up. Heading to the first NLCS since 2001, and they'll wait to see who they face in Texas from the Dodgers-Padres series.
Yeah, I mean, what's crazy is that the Marlins, they should feel really good about this year.
Oh, they should.
Our expectations were way down here. Yeah, they should feel great because they can only build off of this. I don't know if they can recapture this magic next season, but man, what a year.
Team. I think really what benefited them, unfortunately, is the COVID outbreak for them.
It did.
Because they had to bring up pitchers that would just hit double-A that they thought weren't going to be there for a couple of years, and they got so much from them that you're going to have to give them the ball next year. And now they're almost a year earlier than they expected. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do.
And this is exactly what you and I were talking about preseason. When we found out that this was going to be a short season and COVID happened, we knew that there were going to be minor leaguers getting these opportunities. And it turns out the Marlins really got a lot out of that.
Yes.
So,
because I remember when we talked about 2 weeks ago, we were talking about the manager of the year, and we were talking about Don Mattingly, but how many people call up, up, down, players added. It's just ridiculous. And to knock out the Cubs and then to end up being your rival, but still losing 3-0, but you got to feel good.
You got to feel great, especially like you said, you went through the Cubs.
Yeah.
Your team that's not supposed to be here. So, yes, you lost to the Braves 3 straight, but that's because the Braves know you, and the Braves are a way better team.
Yeah, so that was the bad thing about all 4 of these games. They're all division games, so you know who was bringing. You have scouting information on all their pitchers.
Oh, exactly.
So it's like the information we're comparing like, oh, we didn't get to play the Dodgers, so we don't know what to do against them. Like, no. It's like, oh, we're facing Miami? Oh, this is about to come easy. We know exactly what to throw at them.
Yeah,
it's
man.
Unfortunate. But, but this Dodgers-Padres was the heavyweight matchup, which we thought could go, and God.
I thought this one was going to be like the Yankees-Rays as well.
Yeah, I thought we were going to have at least 5 games. The other ones, you're like, it could be toss-up.
But at the end of the day, the Dodgers out-hit and outworked Slam Diego.
Yeah, so game 1, the big storyline was 2 young pitchers, stacked up lineups. But the story ended earlier for Mike Clevinger. Went 1 inning, but he was pulled in the second after 2 pitches when both pitches were about 5 miles an hour off his average velocity. The Padres would strike first, the RBI in the 4th, but Dodgers tied up the 5th on an error by the Rookie of the Year candidate Jake. And then Dodgers scored 4 runs in the 6th. Dodgers bullpen the 7th, 8th, and 9th only allowed a hit in those innings, taking the game 5-1. So and respect from Dodgers.
Exactly, and the Dodgers, being the Dodgers, they're like, oh, you guys want to call yourself Slam Diego? Well, we're going to go ahead and score at least 5 runs per game in this series, at least. And that was only game 1. The next 2 games, I think they averaged like 10 runs or something.
So game 2, Dodgers hold off the Padres, take a 2-0 lead, winning 6-5. Clayton Kershaw on the mound, looking good as Dodger fans try to take a 2-0 series lead from the division rival. Padres took the lead in the 2nd off of Will Myers' bat. The 3rd, Dodgers scored 3 off of Seager's 2-run double and then Max Muncy's single. Bellinger adds a run in the 4th with a solo home run. In the 6th, Padres got Clayton Kershaw with 2 solo home runs from Machado and Eric Hosmer to cut the lead by 1. Then the 7th, Dodgers extend the lead back by 2 runs by a Turner sac fly and a Munchie RBI single. In the ninth, some drama. With 2 outs, Padres scored 2 runs, Moreland double, and then a Grimm single off of Jansen. Jansen pulled them, put in their legend Joe Kelly to get the final out, so Dodgers are holding on to take that 2-0 series lead.
Yeah, man, that one was a sweater. I was like, this is going south for you guys real quick.
Yeah, especially if you're a closer, you thought like let's close this out and give up 2 runs in the ninth. It's got to be
Yeah, dude, that's got to be in this situation. Man, this is a nail biter. Like when they start scoring and the bases start getting juiced, I was like, oof.
Man, so Padres hope to try to extend this series a couple more games. Fall early as Dodgers take a 12-3 win to take the series. Dodgers rookie Dustin May was the opener for the Dodgers. Was almost perfect. Dodgers scored first in the second. At the bottom of the second, Padres take a 2-1 lead. A walk-in run and an RBI single. But then after the single, Dodgers replaced their pitcher with Oreyes to get out of the inning. The next half inning, the Dodgers scored 5 runs in the top of the third, all RBI singles. Then added 1 run in both the fourth and fifth. Then the Padres did score in the sixth because of a balk, but the Dodgers added 4 runs in the top of the ninth to put a nail in the coffin to sweep their rival and head to the NLCS for the 4th time in 5 years.
Yeah, and are we surprised? Not really.
No.
I mean, yes, the Padres had a good run. Yes, they look great. But at the end of the day, when we look at all the teams, we know the Dodgers are something special.
Like, if you really think about it, besides representing the NL, or they've literally lost to the eventual NL pennant winners if they did lose before the NLCS. Mets in 15, Cubs in 16. They represent 17, 18, 19. They lost to the Nationals in the division, and now they're going back to the championship series. You're talking about years of this team being good. So this is not a shocker.
Not at all. They're a dominant team. Preseason we had them favored. I'm not shocked at all.
I think the betting odds were highly ridiculous to the Dodgers' chances.
Yeah.
Added Mookie Betts. It was just like, wow.
Exactly. Right. You have Bellinger, you add Betts. Let anybody get hot. And this is like another Yankees, the West Coast Yankees.
Yeah. So now we can talk about some league championship preview / recap. There's both been 2 complete games in the AL. NL, there's been 1 complete game, 1 going on right now. It's – what inning is this?
7th inning.
In the 7th inning, so we can talk about this after we – so in the AL, the Rays and Astros.
Yeah, man.
It could be great. It's going to come down to Rays pitching versus hot bats and Astros. So far, I think pitching has kind of won for the Rays.
Yeah, I think so far the Rays are overpowering the cocky Astros. It's been tight. It's been tight games, man. But they've been pulling away with the win.
Yeah. So Rays take game 1 with a 2-1 series victory over the Astros. Houston jumped out first with Snell with a 2-base solo home run in the first. They kind of, okay, we're here. The bat's still there. Like, okay. But Snell only allowed 4 more hits over the next 4 innings he pitched. The Rays tied it up in the 4th with a solo home run of their own. Then they took the lead in the 5th and an RBI single off the bat of Ozuna. Then the Rays bullpen shut down the Astro bats, only allowed 3 hits for the next 4 innings, closing the game out to take game 1. We know the Rays pitching is there. Bullpen starters, everything. And then last night's game, yesterday's day game, I guess. Rays jump out to an early lead, but pitching took over from there to take a 2-0 series lead, winning 4-2. Rays scored 3 in the bottom of the first by a 3-run home run off of Manuel Maggot. Then Morton went 5 innings, only allowed 5 hits, no runs. Correa finally got the Astros on the board with a solo home run in the 6th. Keller went lights out after the first inning home runs. The second inning through 6th inning, he did not allow a hit for the Astros pitching staff against the Rays. But in the 7th, Ozuna to finish the inning. Rays bullpen closed out the game, not giving up a run in the 9th before finishing the game to take a 2-0 series lead.
Yeah, that's big. It's tough to come back from a 2-0.
Yeah. So
I mean,
tonight's game, which is going on right now. Yeah, it just started, right?
Okay.
Yeah, Astros already got a 1-0 lead, but the starters were Yarbrough versus uh Utility, which could be a big game because if Rays end up winning this game, you're talking about a 3-0 series lead, which is almost death comeback. Of course, has came back, Red Sox and Yankees, so we know that is a possibility. But if they do win 3-0, you're talking about a win away from your first World Series since 2008.
Right. You gotta lose 4 straight at that point. This is a must win for the Astros in my eyes. You have to win this game. Actually, they have to win the next 2 games for sure. I
Yeah.
don't know, man.
So and then
It's gonna be impossible.
Astros can win it. They can try to get the series back. But if Rays win, I think it's pretty much done.
It's a wrap. Absolutely. There's no way the Astros beat the Rays 4 straight. Never.
And then Game 4 will be, of course, Wednesday night. Rays are throwing out Glasnow after his 2-day rest start for Game 5. But Astros have not said who they're going to pitch yet, but we're almost certain it's going to be Greinke. So if you need to win, if somehow Rays do win tonight, then you have Greinke for Game 4 to try to extend the series. That's the guy you want to give the ball to.
Yeah. Yeah. If you had to pick one, he's the guy for now. I mean,
but if you have a 3-0 series lead, Glasnow is the guy you want to give the ball to for the Rays to close out the series. Could be an interesting game. We'll see what happens tonight. It's the biggest thing, with
right.
Top second inning right now. It's nothing special.
I mean, like you said, I feel like if the Astros don't win tonight, they're going to throw everything they have next week. Anybody gets in close to trouble, they're getting out. They're pulling people right away. They have to.
So Tuve was the one who hit the home run in the bottom of the first in this game that's currently.
Yeah, he's been heating up. He's been heating up.
The Rays have bases loaded with 2 outs right now. So we'll see if they can do any damage here. But yeah, and the weirdest thing is, like we said before when we were talking about this playoffs, is compared to the last game, 5 games, okay, this is a 7-game series if it needs to, with no days off. So after 4 games, you got to start thinking about who's going to pitch if you don't have that clear 4th or 5th starter. Is it going to be a bullpen game? So you got to start thinking about that, or someone's going on short rest. So with Greinke going 4, you're talking about he has to go on 2 days short rest to try to pitch something in the Game 7 if it's forced for the Astros.
Well, look, man, yeah, if you're in any kind of situation, everybody needs to be available. I don't care how much rest. Like you said the other day, one of the pitchers pitched 2 games, Glasnow, right? Or 2 games short rest. It's going to happen. I mean, if they got to give them their best, whatever that is.
Yeah. So that's the biggest thing we talked about was the no days off, because
you
get a day off for travel. The guy could have extra day rest where okay, he's on 3 days rest, throw him out there. Now
right.
It's
right. And if you're playing straight games, no days off, no rest, that changes the strategy quite a bit.
Very much so.
I mean, because that's big, especially for your pitchers. that means if you're not stacked up in the pitcher's game, then you're going to have a tough time. Your bullpen better be good.
Yeah, definitely. So.
All right, well, let's talk about this Dodgers-Braves situation.
So the 2 top pitching teams going to the dogfight to see who represents the National League in the World Series, man.
Yeah. So what else is there to say? So Game 1, the Braves beat the Dodgers 5-1. The only thing I can say is, well, I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, pitching matchup, we all think that could be, Braves took that early lead with the first inning with Freeman off of Bellinger. Max Fried was lights out like he was all season. Dodgers finally got to him in the 5th with a solo home run off the bat. Hernandez, then both bullpens was great.
Yeah.
Braves never allowed a hit after Fred was pulled. Dodgers bullpen was good too through the 7th, 8th, 6th, 7th, 8th. But Blake in the 9th inning, that's when it got very bad for Dodgers quick.
It did, man. It was tough. It was tough to watch. I was like, well, that's a wrap. They just
first you give up a moonshot to rookie Austin Riley to let them get the go-ahead lead. Then a double from Acuna. Got Freeman out, but then Azuña doubled. Acuna soared. And then Darno got out. But then next to know, Ozzie hit a 2-run home run to extend the lead. And then Braves closer came in to finish the game to let Braves take Game 1.
Yeah, it was tight till that point.
It was like I was watching like, man, it's gonna be who's gonna make the next move, like who's gonna
Exactly.
get the next run, and then the moonshot.
Ninth.
I'm like, oh, that's probably gonna be it right there. The next thing you know, it's like 5-1. I'm like, what happened?
Yeah, and so far this series, I believe, because I think they're playing right now as well. Freeman's looking great.
Yeah. So game two, when it off first sign of you're talking about Anderson so far in the postseason, who has a 0 ERA going against Clayton Kershaw with a 1.93. Like this is gonna be the game we all thought, but hours for the game, Curtin got scratched, back spasms. So most likely he's going to pitch game four if the go ahead is good. So
Well, they need him to go because, like I said, the Braves already won game one. There's a very great chance that they're going to win tonight because they're up 7-0, I believe.
yeah. So the rookie Goslin, had a great season quietly. Dodgers on the West Coast. A lot of people here on the East Coast don't know this rookie they got. Well, he had a 2-point-something ERA, through like 8 starts, so it's pretty good. So it only took him 10 pitches to get through the first inning. Besides, almost hitting Acuna with the first pitch, so the nerves got to him there. But got through. But then the third inning, well, hold on. But the second time through the order is where he got in trouble.
Okay.
He walked Acuna on 5 pitches. The next batter was Freddie Freeman. Hit that 2-run shot to take the lead. The next inning, he didn't allow no more damage that inning. But the next inning, he walked Markakis. Patchy doubled. Markakis scored. He walked Acuna. He was replaced. The next batter, Freddie Freeman, hit a single. Patchy scored. The next 2 batters, Acuna and Darno, were walked. Breeze hit a sacrifice fly. Freeman scored to take a 6-0 lead. And if I remember correctly, I saw that Swanson hit a single to knock in the 7th run.
Yeah, man, they're putting it in right now. And I hope they don't use up all of their luck right now or all their hits because, like I said, the Dodgers are definitely going to be a tough team. But good for the Braves, man. They're solid. They look solid.
So far, the Braves pitching has only allowed 4 hits.
It's crazy.
4 hits, it's insane. So I'll pull up the box score right now for the Dodgers. The hits that came from Turner, Smith, the catcher, and Jack Peterson, DH, and then Chris Taylor.
All right, Chris Taylor, local.
So, but yeah, let's see Braves pitching. Anderson went 4 innings.
Yeah, they pulled him. I think they pulled him when they were up like 5-0.
Yeah, I might as well just save them just in case.
Exactly. Yeah, that means you have ultimate trust in your bullpen. I would never, in a million years, think the team the Mets have, if they were in this situation, they would leave their starter in because we know the bullpen would give it up.
Of course, Dodgers are trying to do something right now. They got 2 singles off O'Day, so 2 of the hits came off this inning. So they got man on second and first right now with only 1 out. So we'll see. The Dodgers having something going right now if they want to come back and win this game.
I think the Dodgers left the bases loaded the first inning or second inning, and then they also left some runners in scoring position after that as well. So they had some opportunities early.
Because Anderson walked some people, but then he got out of it.
Exactly. Yeah, it reminds me of the Yankees? Was it Cole? When I was telling you, I was like, look, he's not looking good right now.
Yeah, you're like, he walked the first 3 people. I'm like, oh my God.
Living on the edge, man.
But so if this lead holds, you're talking Braves taking 2-0 lead,
which is big.
Tomorrow night, Wednesday, they'll have a lot on the line. Braves are throwing out Kyle Wright, who's 1-0 with the 0 ERA. Dodgers have finally just said Urias is going to pitch game 3 for them. So then most likely they said Clayton can go game 4. That'll be our game 4 starter. And of course, Braves won't really said who's going game 4 yet because it's all strategy from right now. But probably tomorrow they'll announce who's the game 4 starter. I don't know who they throw out there. Because they only need to throw out 3 pitchers so far because they've been undefeated.
Well, even if the Braves go up 2-0, I still feel like the Dodgers are one of those teams that will come back and can. I have more faith in them doing it against the Braves than I do the Astros against the Rays.
Yeah, like easily they can, take the next 2 game 3 and 4, then it'll be a 3-game series after that.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, like it wouldn't surprise me if Curtin takes game 4, and then especially depends on how much they use them. What is he going to be available for game 7? Like, it'd be very interesting if they could somehow take the next 2. So that's going to be interesting to watch.
Yep.
Yeah, this series, man. Oh, Corey Seager just hit a 3-run home run.
Oh, there's some life.
So they got some life now. So
Oh, the game's not over.
nope. So Braves, the bullpen had some question marks through the year. They finally just give up. So Corey Seager hit a home run. Jock scored. Chris Taylor scored. So
I'm gonna tell you what, man. I know it's highly unlikely, but if the Dodgers do come back and win this game, the Braves better double think what they just did by taking their starter out when he was doing great
yeah,
with a 5-0 lead. I understand the concept behind it.
it's really been O'Day. So now with with this home run, O'Day's now postseason ERA this year is a 54 ERA.
No bueno.
So,
All right.
but yeah. So it all depends on what these games are going to happen. Like, if Dodgers do came back and win it, God, it's going to turn the series real quick.
Momentum shift.
A 5-game series after that. So I don't know. Like, I'm still probably going to slightly stick with my picks with Rays and Dodgers still in the World Series.
Yeah. I mean, that's smart. Those are smart picks.
Like, you don't like for the Dodgers, you don't go to so many World Series and so many pennants to be a veteran team. When Braves, this is the first time. Remember last year they went to the playoffs, but they lost a terrible Game 5 blowout, 11 runs in the first inning.
Yeah, that's tough.
To the
That's
Cardinals.
a tough way to go, man.
So at least they got past the first round. Two rounds this year to make it. So if Dodgers somehow end up taking the series, what they think they will, Braves are still like, okay, we got there. Now next step is to win next year.
Exactly. Yeah.
They've taken a step each year. And so it's like, and the biggest thing for the Braves is their pitching, because they talked about it before the game tonight, was who was supposed to be their starting rotation. Mike Soroka was supposed to be the ace, Achilles injury.
Yeah, they're all hurt.
Yeah. Cole Hamels was supposed to be the fourth starter. Injuries, played one start, and then their fifth starter was going to be Felix Hernandez. He opted out because of COVID.
Yep.
So if they could add some more.
Oh, man, yeah. Just imagine if they were healthy and they didn't opt out.
It could have been a good team, man.
I mean, they're a great team still.
Yeah.
I'm not. No, they're good. They're really good. They're top 4. What can I say?
The question is after, tomorrow with Wright pitching, is after that, who's going to pitch for the Braves?
Yeah.
So if Dodgers somehow take this game and you're going to go to a 5-game series now, best of 5, does the Braves have the pitching to do it? I don't think they do after that, after the starting rotation.
Well, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, they don't necessarily need pitching. It definitely helps.
That young lineup.
Their bats are keeping them alive. Freeman's definitely helping out a lot. We'll see what happens. So, yeah, with that being said, what about the World Series preview next week?
So, World Series, no matter what happens, starts on Tuesday.
Yeah.
On October 20th. There actually will be breaks. There are going to be travel day breaks.
Hey, travel days.
So it'll be the traditional, like it was 2 games, travel day, 3 games, travel day, 2 games, if it goes all
And
7.
I get it. And they really want to extend the World Series so people are like, oh, yeah, World Series is happening.
So,
I
yeah.
get it.
So most likely we're going to have to record either Sunday night or Monday night, depending on if they're Game 7. So either series, because the NL Game 7 I think is Sunday night if there is a Game 7. AL Game 7 is Saturday night. So depending on what schedule, we'll figure it out. And then to close on, I totally forgot after watching Game 1 last night of the NLCS, fans back in the ballpark.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's fans in the
home run. I was like, Freddie Freeman's home run. I was like,
that's right.
Fans there.
Yeah, Freddie Freeman's home run. It didn't seem like anybody really wanted to go get it, though.
I was like, can we leave our seat? Like, are we getting in trouble?
That's what I'm wondering, because they were just standing there, like, looking dumb.
I know
I'd have been all over it.
They're not supposed to. Like, those are their 4 seats. And, of course, it took, I think what I saw, like 2 hours to sell out all the games, the NLCS and the World Series games. I looked on StubHub for Game 1, I think either the NLCS or the World Series. They were $400 a ticket on StubHub. So you're talking, I think with fees, I think it was like $1,800 because you have to buy 4. There's no just buying 1 or 2 seats. You had to buy 4 seats per game if you want to see. So if there's only 2 of you, you're buying 4 tickets. But it's kind of good seeing fans back.
That's not terrible, though.
You hear a little roar of the crowd. People. Apparently, it's been more of a Braves fans. I guess has traveled. I guess it's a little easier.
That's because they were retired.
You got our money. But yeah,
I just saw they just showed like a what is it, a shot from like a distance. There's like a tall building with a lady outside of it throwing a raised flag all around. Why? Because she got a good view from the outfield too.
well, yeah. So, but it was pretty interesting. Like the Yankees Rays series, of course, being in San Diego, they have little bars kind of like Chicago where you could be on top of the roof and watch the game
Yeah,
there. So you saw
yeah,
that when it showed. I'm like, how are fans there? I said, oh, that's right. We're in San Diego. There's bars and stuff that people could look down on the stadium.
yeah.
So
That's pretty cool.
it's something, more NFL teams are starting to let fans in. Like I think Philly is finally going to let like almost 8,000 fans in this weekend for
Oh,
football.
football, they're letting like 25,000 fans in.
Well, I know, like
Dallas let 25,000 fans in. I think
Miami's apparently supposed about to let 60,000 in, which I think is a stupid.
that's a full 60,000. That's a full.
Their stadium holds 100.
Whew. Yeah, but that's a lot though. Still,
Fucking Florida, man, they don't care.
I guess not, man.
But
That's why the Rays fans are here, because they don't care.
So I now think with NFL is now thinking about with the bubble situation now it's came up.
Yeah, they're talking about it
because now MLB have their outbreaks. Football has now had their outbreaks. So now it's like, how can we control this? Now they're thinking about bubble and probably watching the MLB bubble. Like, look, they did it. They closed off. They picked cities to host. Maybe something to do. But I think it's a little harder for football.
It absolutely has to be, man.
It's not like you can pick two stadiums and like they're going to play each night. Is like, okay, especially in the first round, they did expand the playoffs. This is the year of the expanded playoffs for the NFL. It's like if you pick two host cities, you're talking about a week of football almost every night, a playoff game.
Well, plus each team would have to have its own hotel, man. They have like 100 people.
Easily.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
not like a basketball team where you got like 12 people on a team. You got like 100 people in staff in this. It's got to be a lot.
Yeah, and then, I guess we got to say, bubble situation. Congratulations to the Lakers for winning the NBA title.
Congrats, yeah.
It was weird, the bubble. They actually got family there at the end, so you saw family on the court celebrating.
The only thing I remember was seeing LeBron with a stogie in his mouth.
Oh yeah,
looking like Bronny Jr. on the gram.
So, they're home. I bet I'm pretty in basketball. They're not sure what they're going to do to start the season. Because it first was talked about, December. Now they're talking about the first of the year now. So what does that do for the future of the NBA? That's going to be one of the first questions. Hockey is free agency is open. They're moving like hotcakes right now.
Yeah.
They're going to start with the Winter Classic on New Year's Eve.
Crazy, man. Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting. And then in baseball, now when baseball finally closes out here this month, they almost have a regular season. Like they didn't.
Yeah, they should be back on track.
So they'll just be back on track to see if, the issue with the offseason is, of course, and our new Mets owner and Steve Cohen, first thing they need to do. And then fans, what they're going to do next year, spring training. Are they going to allow fans to spring training? Is it going to be limited contact?
It all depends on the pandemic and what's happening in that time frame.
Oh. But, yeah, I can't wait for this World Series next week to start on Tuesday. I'm very interested how these two games finish tonight. Looks like Dodgers didn't do nothing else after we talked about. Yeah, it's top 8 now, so Braves are now up to bat. Rays didn't do nothing, so they're still losing 1-0 currently. So, yeah. But we'll see what happens.
It's still early for the Rays game. But, yeah, we'll see what happens.
Second, so.
Either way, we'll have a way better outlook next week.
Yeah, to see who's going to be the World Series.
Who's going to be the shit.
Who's going to win. And then after that, we got to recap the season. It's the first season in the books almost there, but,
That's right.
It's going to be interesting. So, I guess we'll catch you on next week for the World Series preview. Y'all have a great night.
Peace.